All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we're back yet again, and I know, there's a bunch of different things that I talk about, and one of the things that I talk about on this channel, and I go back and forth on, is not only movies that I grew up on, but movies that mean something to me, that mean a lot to me, and one of my favorite movies that I want to talk about is obviously The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel. What? I always mess up her name. Rachel Wes, and many others. John Hannah. I love this movie. I adore this movie. This movie came out in '99. I remember watching this all the time when I was a kid. If you guys have never seen this movie, please go check it out. The reason why I say you need to check it out is not only does it have a little bit of history of Egypt in here, great characters, action, comedy, horror, everything built into one. I think that the reason why I love this so much is because I had a very big fascination and still do with ancient Egyptian culture and mythology and everything of that nature. And I really fell in love with the lore of this movie. I fell in love with the lore of Egypt and even with these characters. So, again, if you guys haven't seen this movie, I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of what this movie is about. So, you have the main character, Rick O'Connell, who's played by of course, Brendan Fraser, who did a magnificent performance in this show. He is a soldier. His men are ordered to go this one area of Egypt, and what happens is he gets deserted in the Sahara, and then years later he gets picked up by two siblings, Evie and Jonathan. Jonathan, he's kind of who John Hannah does a magnificent job portraying this character. By the way, he's kind of a sleazy guy. He's always looking for the next big buck. Evie, she's very of a bookworm, go by the rules. And when her and her brother learn about the city of the dead, that is what just draws her in. She wants to know more about it, and she learns how Jonathan got this, which was from Rick. He was in jail. She saves him from being hanged, and they go on the journey of going over to that area of Egypt on a expedition, and they run into Americans that's invested in this. So they go through of not only ones trying to stop them from getting over there, which later they figure out they're not enemies, they're actually allies, who's led by Arif Bey, who's played by oh man, I'm probably gonna butcher this man's name, Oda Fair. Another great actor. He plays as Arif Bey, the leader of the Magi, the descendants of the Pharaoh's bodyguards, who they were supposed to protect the Pharaoh's tomb because the character that we meet, Imhotep, who was a priest of the Pharaoh, betrayed him because he was in love with his wife. And when things came out, he was sentenced to a fate horrible than death. They put a curse on him. And Evie, Rick, and Jonathan open up the ancient book of the dead. They accidentally raise him, and then they have to stop him. So not only are they going to have to stop him, they have to save Egypt in the process. And this pretty much turns Rick into not really just a self-righteous person, but it turns the way he looks at things because he slowly starts falling for Evie. Evie starts falling for him, and he turns into not just a soldier back again, but he also starts turning into a hero. And I think one of my favorite scenes in this movie was not only when one of the characters, even though it was more comic relief than anything, was the character Benny. And I love that character so much because it was hilarious. Because he comes across him, and he's like, "You came back from the desert with a new friend, didn't you, Benny?" And then he's like, "What friend? You're my only friend." Or the whole thing where he says, "Well, ain't you my little buddy Benny? I think I'll kill you." And he's like, "I'm thinking about children." He goes, "You don't have any children. Someday I might." So a lot of these one-liners just stuck with me for the longest time. And I think that's the reason why I love this franchise so much, is because it had cheesy 90s comedy. It had a lot of things that I personally enjoyed as a kid that I really gravitated to as an adult. And I think that's the reason why I love this so much, is because, again, there was just certain things about this show, not show, but this movie that I just personally enjoyed and that I just couldn't get enough of when I was a kid. Because I watched it however many times. I watched all the franchise, I watched the series, and I'd always talk about it. And I'd always come up with different things in my head like, what would happen if this happened or if that happened? You know what I mean? Because there was just different things of like, because there's so many things that they came across, different, ones coming up, trying to raise the dead of mommies and having that scene happen, and then the fight between Imhotep and Rick, and that was really cool. And there's just a lot of different things in this movie that I just absolutely love. So again, I have a lot of love for this movie. I have a lot of fond memories of this movie. I remember owning this movie on VHS, and then when it finally came on DVD, I was finally able to get on DVD. So again, if you guys have never seen The Mommy, go check it out. And I know again, some people may not say, "Oh, well, why are you talking about older movies?" Because again, it's my channel and I can do whatever I want within reason, obviously. But I like talking about older movies. I have no problem talking about older movies. But if you guys have never seen The Mommy, go check it out. You will not be disappointed. And I'm also going to be doing reviews on the other ones as well. So go check it out. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you as always on the next one.